Hello, everybody out there. My name is Aaron Campos, CEO of Dhamira. This is Jenny Van Sutters, our Director of Design.
Hey, everyone.
We wanted to do a quick video showing the rebrand of the Dhamira website that Jenny worked on and the new technologies that we're using in most of our websites, both web applications and marketing websites. Astro on the front end, Storyblock as the CMS, and Netlify as our hosting partner. And we are agency partners of both Storyblock and Netlify. But we'll get into that later. Jenny, take it away with how you approach this design and what you bring to our other clients.
Thank you, Aaron. Quick introduction. I'm Jenny Van Sutters. I'm the design director here at Dhamira. And whenever we start a new web project, or any project for that means, we really want to get to know our clients. We want to know what's most important to you in your business and the objectives that you're trying to meet. So we're going to spend a little bit of time in the very beginning of every new client relationship, getting to know you, talking and discussing those core objectives and goals, and how we can make sure that they come to life for you. So some of the things that we'll do, especially when we're building a new brand project for someone or revitalizing a brand that already exists, we want to just do a little bit of a deep dive, and we'll start by looking at filling out a brand questionnaire that we'll provide to you. And then that really allows you time to think really deeply about some of the things that you want your new site or your new application to achieve, and who your core audience is, and what are your most important objectives of your site. Is that to sell your services? Is that just brand awareness? Is that product usage, et cetera, et cetera? When we deep dive into all of that. And then when we have all that together, then we'll start to look at the creative, and we want to make sure that we're putting all of our energy into the correct creative direction for you. So we'll put together a series of mood boards, and usually that consists of 2 or 3 different creative directions to choose from. And the end result may actually be a combination of a little bit of this mood board mixed with a little bit of that mood board. But we really want to make sure we identify what your brand is and who it is and how it represents you. So the mood boards are super helpful for that. And then once we get all of that accomplished, we get to move into the content and the design phase. And from there, if we're working on a web project, I'm going to do a quick little screen share here. We're going to go ahead and wireframe your site out. And what a wireframe does is it looks something very much like this, is where we just create these different sections, and we'll then fill it in with the brand elements and the brand copy and tone of voice that we choose as we're moving through your project. But so this is what the Dhamira site looked like when we first wireframed it out. And as you can see, it just has lorem ipsum and an idea of the types of things that we're going to want to include. So obviously for our hero, we're going to have a heading. We knew we wanted to talk about our different services, so we made placeholders for that. And then our industries, we have placeholders for that, et cetera, et cetera. So this is what we call a lo-fi design. So first, we really want to keep the parameters tight so we know exactly what to include and what we don't want to include to keep our focuses very concentrated. And then once we have sign off on our wireframes and we know, okay, these are definitely the sections that we want to include and this is what it's going to be all about, we then move into our high fidelity design work. And that is basically takes your site into this. And this is what a prototype in Figma looks like. You can see how things behave and move. But all those sections that we saw as wireframes are now filled in with actual content and visuals. And so this is what the new Dhamira site has evolved into. As the company grows and the scope of our business evolves, we want to make sure we represent that on the homepage. So as you can see, this is what that wireframe now looks like filled in. And then we'll do this for your entire site. So we'll decide every single page that you want and all the different sections you're going to need. And some of them we're going to fill in the content for you. Some of it you'll be able to do easily on your own. And so once I hand these files off over to Aaron, he can then bring everything into Storyblock and Astro and make your site come to life. And I'll turn it over to Aaron so you can see basically when he takes my files, what they look like on his end.
Thank you very much. So yes, obviously we've been creating web applications and websites for many years, going through many different programming languages and frameworks. And what we have been using lately is a framework called Astro, which is very great to work with. And it has a different point of view on things, which we can get into in terms of performance, ease of use, the ability to use React, Vue, Solid.js, any type of JavaScript front-end framework that you want, but it also doesn't need any of those. And so we've been enjoying that a lot. I'm going to share my screen and show how we do this. This is a view of the code of the site in using the Storyblock integration. And this slug page that you see highlighted over here on the left is really just saying whatever is in Storyblock, we're going to render it. And this is just going through and getting all of the content in Storyblock and rendering it using this special Storyblock component. And all of the sections under here are the components that we created based on the designs that Jenny just showed. So if we look at like just a standard like mini card section, it's just showing all we did is define this section of HTML using Tailwind with some placeholders here that get filled in by Storyblock. So what that means is for our client, I'm going to show what that looks like in Storyblock now. So this is the site running within the Storyblock visual editor. You can see up here, this is actually going against the preview site in Netlify, which is essentially a clone of the production site. However, it's running in what's called server rendered mode. So if we come in here and I want to change any of these headings or anything like that, I can click in here and I can make this. And you can see it update right there in real time. So for our clients using this CMS, it gives you a couple of great things together, which is you can change the content, but you can't really alter the design. So you'll be able to make whatever changes or create new pages without going outside of the design system that's already been set up. It allows you to experiment as much as you want with content, and even creating new pages out of whole cloth using the components that have already been created. And navigation is super easy. It's just like clicking through the same your same site and choosing the content that you want to alter. Yeah, I'm going to discard those changes. And again, you can just see the changes reflected in real time. And then when you actually publish the site, it will kick off a new build in Netlify. And when that builds, it will build everything statically. So you have a very fast website. And we also, by default, run a couple of different build plugins on each build. So you can see we have 400s on Lighthouse scores, which we would give to any of our clients. So if you're dealing with a slow and non-optimized site, we'll get you 400s. And we also run an accessibility plugin on each build as well. So if you were in Storyblock and you made some change that was going to harm your accessibility, either by not putting in an alt tag or changing some colors, if we allowed you to change some colors into a let's say a contrast ratio that was not accessible, then you would get an error and that change would not go live and you'd have a chance to fix it. And the great thing about that is that it allows you to have that in government markets and things like that, to be assured that all of your changes will be accessible, but allow all of your content editors the freedom to do what they need to be able to do. So that is the content management and development experience and design experience at Dhamira. We look forward to bringing that to you and your customers and your users. Jenny, any closing words?
That we're excited to collaborate and bring whatever projects you have to life. And we've worked with lots of different organizations at different stages of maturity, and we across many different sectors. So we have lots of combined experience and can't wait to apply that to your project.
For sure. And I would also like to add on to that, that this is not just for marketing sites. We can do full applications, HIPAA applications, any type of dynamic web application using a lot of these same tools, and many others that aren't needed for marketing sites, but we'll do another video on those.